Hello everyone, and welcome to the Deepbluerenegade podcast. Today is Saturday, July 29th, 2017, and I am glad you guys could join me today. It is episode 193. I'm just like, I don't even know what my cadence is. My name is Molly, also known as the Deepbluerenegade. Yay. Whatever. It's not too crazy. So super duper excited to be totally up on iTunes. Shouldn't be too bad to continue being up on iTunes. So hopefully that ends up being a decent endeavor. It's not too crazy. I think it's just resulting in more copies of restate versions of the podcast on the computer, but whatever. The program I use spits out WMVs, which isn't very helpful, but Google will convert it for me, so that's what I've been doing. Because that is hard. I'm a YouTube podcast, and have always been a YouTube podcast, so and Google and Apple don't want to play nice, so oh well. So it's been a very chill day today. What is it? It was monthly massage day, so that was always nice, but then results in probably less knitting than usual. I think there are plans to make ice cream today because I made hazelnut brown butter cake, which results in you taking all of egg whites in order to make the magic, which is mostly hazelnuts and egg whites, but also brown butter, which is amazing. And my hair, I guess, isn't gonna stay put. It's slightly damp, but it wants to escape. So I have 6 egg yolks in the fridge, and they're gonna become ice cream. I'm not sure what flavor yet. I still need to buy heavy cream. But it's gonna happen, because I need to use them up. As far as, problems to have, it's not a bad problem to have. It's sort of like how ganache and mousse go together, like hazelnut brown butter cake and ice cream just go together. And it was a reasonable potluck win. What would it be? It wasn't, what is it? I sometimes forget that one of my coworkers is very competitive, and that apparently she can never leave because her blackberry pie is so amazing. So when it comes against that, it's only so far. And I didn't make chocolate dripping ganache. You know. I didn't have any chocolate. It was odd. But oh well, such is life. So, knitting-wise, what would it be? I think because I baked a cake this week that cut into the knitting time, but it was the end of the world. I did manage to finish another chart of the Rock the Casbah. And it's getting to the point now where it probably needs to go on to bigger needles, but I have interchangeable, so it shouldn't be too big a deal to swap them out. But you can see pretty clearly the awesome pattern and the red beads, and the beads are a pain. Well, it's sort of close to every other stitch is a bead, which makes for a long row, but it is looking nice. I stopped right before the beads, and then I forced myself through the beads. The next couple of rows are going to be nice and boring, so that should be good. It's nice to have a project where it sort of ebbs and flows in complexity. So it took a decent amount of knit night to get all the beads in, and then I have a ridiculous number of markers, which may or may not need to be there, I don't know. They were helpful in making sure I was staying on track, so it was probably worth it. So this is Rock the Casbah by Cindy Garland, and this is Stunning String Studio, or simply Stunning String. At some point I'll get it right. And the Blue Calypso and the Fog colorway. So, gorgeous. So one interesting thing that I noted was that my microphone was set to the laptop instead of the webcam. So I fixed that, and then I turned up the pickup on the webcam as well so that it would be appropriately loud. Because I'm sorry about it being quiet last week. It was very quiet. It's not like I'm in a loud room or something. I know, the fan's going because it is 85 up here. It is heat index of 118 outside, so I love you guys. Not much. And it's not even like it's really, like it's 93 and the heat index is 118. It's like uber disgusting. So, there has been some boxy progress, but not nearly as much as last week. So, when I last talked to you guys, I was in, I think, the bottom blue stripe. Yeah, so when I last talked to you guys, I was here at the end of the second stripe. I finished a blue stripe, and finished a tan stripe, finished a blue stripe, and now I am cruising on my long section of no color. So the striping sequence I put together, because I don't think I mentioned this last week, even though it was a monster episode, is I was trying to use as much of the yarn as humanly possible. And so I reserved half a skein of the blue for all of the trim. So at some point I will do the collar in the blue and probably, I don't know, I might stripe or not, I'm not sure, the arms. And then the trim or the bottom edge in the blue as well. So the sleeves will also probably have the blue as well, as you do. So I started with a certain striping pattern and it wasn't beefy enough. This was a big sweater, it needed big stripes. So what I settled on were 5-stitch wide blue stripes, and then between them 4-stitch wide tan stripes, and then a bigger region that had 30 in between. So that made it so that it was 2.5 balls tan to 1 ball blue, I believe. So that was the ratio that made it work. And that was really subtle. So if you say, for example, had 5 stripes between the blues, and that would be a little bit different, but this was just the case of whatever, getting that blue pop in there, but having it mostly be tan. So I took some pictures and it looks great on me, so or so far it looks great on me. It's definitely the case where you can see just holding it that what ends up happening is, even though it has been knit straight, when it goes on the body, then it has this nice like slouchiness to it that is highlighted by the stripes. So because they're draping down. So that's interesting. It will be an interesting challenge for this guy just because due to the fact that they're sort of going like mid-arm or whatever, what that ends up meaning is that when your arms are down, the sides of the sweater are pretty far down too. So it is interesting. It's going to be however much, it's going to be like slouching down like however much ease the sweater has, so it's interesting. But I'm excited. It does appear to be properly drapey and looking good. So, this was the easiest project to work on this week, because the other project was languishing a little bit because it required beads, and one does not trivially enter into beads. Now that it's into another boring spot, maybe it will get someone. I don't know. We'll see. So this is super duper mindless, but would it be not terrible? I was like knitting on it while reading a magazine earlier. I have like all sorts of nonsense all over the place here, but whatever. So, I don't know if this is a better version of the Knit Girls tape measure or not. I don't know. Mine had recently died, so it was just 2 years. So, I have knit like 1 3/4 inches this week, so not nearly as much, but I was on a knitting vacation last week, so perhaps not surprising that there is less progress. So, move the marker up. All good. I'm enjoying the habit of love, so I was excited about that one. So this is Boxy. I forgot other details by Hoogie Locatelli. It does seem like maybe the prize for knitting the sweater is that you do get to look fabulous and Argentinian at the end. Seems possible. And I'm knitting this out of Plymouth Yarn's Nettle Grove in the Sandcastle and Purple Parrot colorway. So pay no attention to the colorway name, it's really blue. There's some purple in it, but it's blue. Just saying. I probably wouldn't have picked it if it was like that overtly purple. So coming along, it'll be a lot of mindless knitting. So we'll get, like, it seems like I'm a decent way through this skein already. I don't know, that's also an interesting challenge, like, will I have enough yarn? Did I account for all of the extra? Like, I have 500 extra yards, is this going to be enough? Ah, that wasn't close. So, let's see. So I had 6 of the Sandcastle and 3 of the blue. And at this point in time, I still have 3 whole skeins of the Sandcastle, so shouldn't be too crazy. And it looks like I'm getting close to actually wrapping up one of the skeins of blue. Somewhat on schedule, possibly. What would it be? It would be comforting if that was the case. I don't know whether or not I've used some of these and some of not. It's hard to tell. Like, this one has like a swatch still attached to it, so unbroken. I don't know, whatever. So, scintillating little swatch hanging out in the bag. So far so good. Should be a decent sized sweater. It definitely is warm in my lap, so I'm not sure whether or not this is going to be the summer sweater of my hopes and dreams, or if it's just going to be a part of the normal rotation, and that it really does need to be like 80s instead of 100s in order for it to work. Oh well, it was worth a shot. Definitely helpful to be positive ease. So, because this is a big challenge for me, is making a positive ease garment. It's challenging me. But I'm excited because it is looking good, so that's positive. The puns. Oh dear. Let's see. So, not too crazy. I did not touch the socks this week. I in fact found the pattern as I was like moving things from the chair. So, and I'm to the point where I need to start the pattern anyway, so that's where I'm at. Could it have been a good knit night activity? Maybe. Did I remember? No. Do I probably have a copy on my phone? Probably. Well, actually, no. That was the wrong pattern. Thinking about it. So, I think the pattern is where it's supposed to be, but I haven't worked on it at all. So, oh well. Such is life. Like a lot of coffee. Oh, sure that this is still going. Okay. We're still going, it's okay. For some reason, every 5 minutes my computer unhelpfully blanks the screen. Doesn't seem to believe that this is whatever. Use enough cycles to keep the screen on. Oh well. So, there has been some spinning this week. I did manage to finish the singles of the Nest sweater spin, which is good. I definitely need the yardage for Stash Dash because I'm far from finishing anything. So I wasn't sure how much more I needed to go, so I didn't end up trying to finish playing this. Yesterday, well, because I'm in the middle of playing it, it wasn't going to come with me to knit night. Even though it does bring me great joy to cram my Lundrum into the Miata trunk. It is a 1 Lundrum trunk. But I couldn't tell if I was like getting close or not. It does look fairly close. I'm probably getting to the point where I can actually, like, a little bit more plying and I could see the whatever, the first layer of, I can see the first layer of fiber I put on these products, so it's positive. But still some way to go. I realized there wasn't much point. It'll be done next week, and then that'll give me a chance to wash and count and all of that other fun stuff. But here is how it is plying up. So it is lovely semi-solid, it has long runs of shades, and lots of different shades in there as well, which is pretty cool. Whatever. Pretty gorgeous. Very nice red. This is going to be a breathing space. Probably won't start the breathing space until the boxy's done. So, whatever. But I get some hand spun out of the house. So, because like this precarious guy right here, that's all like my spinning samples. I need to probably sit down and rearrange all of the yarn to make it all fit on the shelf, because it's sort of overflowing there. And part of it is that my bin is now mostly empty. So this is what remains of the bin, along with another bag of fiber I have yet to dye. I was not proactive. So this is what's left in the bin. 5 more spins. I won't hold fiber up because that's a little bit more inconvenient. But that's a lot of dead space right now in my shelf. I was like, what was I thinking? And hopefully I can do some of these other spins rather quickly. So now that I've taken the back class, would it be, and got to practice a little bit with core spinning again, was pretty happy with the results, I can now go forth and do this guy. So that's fun. And there's just all sorts of craziness going on here. So this is a Dawning Dreams in the Moon River colorway. And it is now, I know, a striped bat. But it has many stripes in it, which is pretty cool. And so we can see here, maybe if I could fully unfurl it. So all sorts of colors, all sorts of thicknesses, with that gorgeous shine, I think, from the milk fiber. But it'd be the case where, what is it? But that can inform how I decide to course spin it. Should be lovely. And then there's just like the thinnest amount, like a, whatever. It's very interesting. Like a little bit of sparkle, that might be accidental, but whatever. So, really lovely. I hope to get some big yardage out of this guy. And I think I'm probably going to thread tie it. So, maybe what I'll end up doing is doing a little bit of practice with the stripe bat to figure out what I'd like to do with it. But that might actually be next on my wheel, because I'm not sure whether or not I can put up the Mondo yardage for the pansy. I know. What is it? So I have 20 more days of stash, so maybe it could go either way. It's not a big deal. Seeing as how hot it has been lately, maybe it would make sense to do lots of spinning. Hard to tell. So, but it'd be the case where, what is it? So I can take my giant pile of bats and pull out the stripey one from the group and do a little bit of practice. So this one is the stripey one. And I really like how House of Yarn has this like zippered shopping or whatever, this zippered bag that they handed for out, because it's just been so convenient. Now, one thing that I did forget to mention last week was I did get to have some fun with a pair of drum carders. I made this one with the Strouch, and I think it has become slightly squished in the meantime, and it's just all sorts of random crap. There's some blue sparkle, there is a little bit of green, it's mostly red and purple and some dark blue added as well. It's pretty crazy, but it was entertaining to make. It's a little bit thick and thin, but it was an interesting experience where you get to have like a little souvenir from the Triadon room. Or that wasn't the Triadon room, but the tasting room. Now this guy was made with a very fine carder, and the fiber itself, what was it? And the carder itself was like super duper fine, and the fiber wasn't necessarily fine enough to match. So then this guy is very gorgeous. It made for a very smooth looking bat. And you can see this side has a lot more white in it. But really gorgeous. It definitely wasn't the case with the Strout. I'm trying to think of which one this was made on. Other people were using the kitty, and it was motorized and sort of magical. I didn't get a chance to use that one, but the Strout, you just threw crap in it and it slipped it right up. This one, there might have been more fiber on the feeder than on the bat with this one, so it was much more challenging to build something with it, but the result was like so gorgeous. Oh my gosh. Really pretty how that ended up coming together. And these are both like layered style bats, so with a little bit of like position on them, but not a ton. So this should be sort of crazy. Maybe I will course spin them too, because I course spin all the things. But I forgot to show them. They were stuff, not whatever. Or stuff. I don't know. Such is life. It was a really long episode. This amount of episodes seems much more normal. Sounds about right. So, but that's what I forgot to show. Won't bother showing the socks. definitely getting close to a new spinning project. We shall see what I come up with. I'm trying to think of what else is on my mind, and not a lot is, sadly. I'm probably not going to Stitches, Texas this year. What was it? I'm going to Rhinebeck. There's going to be some nice stuff at Rhinebeck, obviously. There's going to be a lot of great people at Rhinebeck as well. So I'm sort of inclined to skip Stitches this year. Their target audience isn't me. Oh well. They try to keep as broad a target audience as possible, but sometimes you alienate some people. Yeah, whatever. But whatever. I'm very dedicated to the DFW Fiber Fest. That's totally awesome and very close to my birthday and quite fantastic. And Julie Moreno is teaching this year, so that was, I don't know, it might be funny to have back-to-back classes that way, but whatever. So that's sort of where I'm standing there. I'm not planning on taking any classes at Rhinebeck. And that has just a lot to do with I'd rather have like more time in New York City. So that should be fine. Let's see. I should be able to record next week. Sort of vague plans beginning to form, but not too crazy. So that should be the 5th of August. Like work travel, like the best sort of travel because it's free. Hopefully, I need to convince someone to let me out of the building, which is sometimes challenging. Yeah, such is life. But that won't affect the short term, as you do. Oh, what would it be? I think that's everything though. I still have like a giant pile of stuff over here I need to deal with, so maybe I'll actually deal with it. As you do sometimes. And figure out how to appropriately arrange everything so it is all contained properly. Guess it just seems like I'm having a containment problem right now. Oh, and now I've decided what the episode title is going to be. It does seem to be fitting the pattern though, because I've been alternating between commercial projects and hand-spun projects and back and forth and so forth. But the hand-spun bin does, after doing all of this in the bin, the hand-spun bin does overflow with, so it's a matter of like, okay, how do I rearrange things in order to properly get it all contained? Because it's about ready to explode there. It appears that sometime other things had exploded off of other shelves, and there's all this stuff here, and jeez. It's like, man, I wish I could work less and have them pay me the same amount. Unlikely. So, with that, I hope you guys have a lovely week, and I look forward to talking to you guys next week. So, take care, guys. Bye-bye.